course, there was no covering, there was no toilets, there was all the big barrels behind it in the cooperage. Hundreds and hundreds. John says he remembers them, so you might remember them.
No, I don't remember
Cooperage
them.
and literally hundreds of barrels. And I used to, as a wee boy, always wonder how they managed to stack them all up like that and fit them up one down. And there was a programme. It was a plain white paper about that size, orange coloured with black printing with 2 teams in it. That was the programme. My grandpa never bought one. I don't know why, but he never ever bought one. But that's what passed. Maybe it was something else. I think maybe it was some sort of raffle or that. But that was passed for a programme. The other things that I was thinking about was the important thing to me wasn't school, unfortunately, or anything like that. It was football. Everything and anything for football. In these days, you get a football annual. There was nothing about Scottish football. It was all English players like, well, Charlie Buchan, who was a famous internationalist in the 30s. He designed football annual that came out. Can assure you, it was a big thick book, maybe 200 pages, football. There was nothing, literally nothing in it about Scottish football. It was all English football. You never seen any football. The only time we seen any football if you went to the pictures and there was a newsreel about Scotland versus Wales, and say Scotland won 2-1, and a lot of times the cameraman would miss the goals.
Yep.
You'd see the ball in the back of the net will say, Charles scores for Wales, John Charles, who was, to me, along with George Best, was the best football player this Britain's ever produced. Great player, big John Charles. Anyway, that's the only football you saw. So you were starved. So Saturday afternoon, if we weren't playing at home, I would run up to the village, Funnybank, where the pubs are. It used to be Finlayson's and Lawson's was the 2 pubs. Anyway, and I once hit the electric sign with a ball and it smashed, and I picked the ball up. I was about 10 and I ran like hell. Remember the guy saying, "Oh, you're for it now, son." It was an innovation these days, and an electric sign outside the pub. And there was a big space where there was a toilet between the pub and a few shops, then there was another pub.
Okay.
A toilet there. And I don't know what's there now. I think it's a tea room or something. Anyway, there's a big space and a couple of motors parked, but nobody had motors in these days. And I was kicking this ball against the wall of the pub. I was waiting for Granny to come after the bus because she did cleaning for a woman up in David Landload Road and Root and Glen. I was waiting for her and I was kicking the ball, and I kicked it high and it hit the electric sign and it smashed, and of course all the light went out, and I picked the ball up and I ran like hell, and I remember lying in my bed that night, one of the police was going to come. Anyway, that's the side of the point. I've lost my thread here. I used to run up every Saturday night and get the Times, News, Citizen papers to read about the football. Now in these days, they give you a proper coverage. It wasn't I spoke to, some player, and he tell me he's happy the manager, talks a good game and he does this and does that. And they spent 3/4 of the report telling me all this crap. And I wanted to say, see, centre forward score a goal, how did he score it? I want to know, the right winger, he ran down, he beat 2 men, and go to the bylet and crossed it, and the centre forward ran in and headed the ball for 8 yards into the top corner of the net. I want to hear that. You don't even get that nowadays. It's all a lot of we interviewed with players. But anyway, I get the Times, News, Citizen, and I'd read them all, and the thing about them was, in these papers, I'd report every senior game, I'd report maybe 24 junior games, right? And it had the full junior teams in, and it'd go half time, Benburn beating St Anthony's 1-0. Then the second half would have it, and it'd say full time 3-1 to the Bens. But it gives you a written report of all the junior games. It gives you all the teams. And when I was a real wee boy, I used to wonder why is so many people called A.N. Other. Obviously, somebody says a good player, we'll get a trial, we'll get him to come in a trial, but we're not going to put his name in in case some bugger comes and steals him. Also, another one was it was the reserves, the senior reserve games were covered and all, and it would be junior. So it was E.N. Other or junior. There was another name, Newman. That was another name that was prevalent. All these names, I used to wonder, it took me ages to realise, figure out what it was. There's another wee bit of stupid, useless information. St Mirren had two players in the first team called Campbell. I'm not sure the first name, I think it was either John or James or something. But in the published programme they could pick red and black because of the same name, or even their middle name I think was the same.
Okay.
And this was only about 30 years ago. St Mirren were in the Premier Division. It was Red Campbell and Black Campbell. Also that was weird him to do that, but anyway, so that was the thing I get in the papers. Now, when the News was the first one I think to go defunct, you could only get the Citizen and you get the Times. I used to have to buy 2 times because I couldn't wait for my grandpa to read the Times. I had to read it, I'd read the Citizen, and if he had read the Times I'd have to sit for ages for him to finish it. And so we used to buy 2 times so I can get the Times right away when I wanted. And a bit of trivia, the guy that wrote the juniors, George Aiken I think his name is, he ran the pub up in Petershill Road. Papers had big bits about the juniors every day. I used to read them avidly, and my trick when I was older, 11, 12, 13, 14, I could say to the boys in school, give me a player and they'd say, left back of Alloa, I would go White, right half of St Johnstone, Whitelaw. I had them all up here, and I had a terrific memory. I've got a terrific memory for things I like. Alright, my memory's all gone now, and that's why I was always good at mental arithmetic, because I could remember things in my head. And I used to do in my head sometimes, lying at bed at night, I'll do the 14 times table, 14, 28, 42, 56, 78, 84, 98. Stupid memory I've got for things I like. I should have got a decent job, but I was too bloody lazy and I hated school, so I didn't go in. But I mean, the football, I remember everything that I ever read about it, and I'd read it and read it and read it again. I'd go in school on a Monday after a game, I hear boys talk about a game, I say to myself, they're saying exactly what they said in the Daily Record or the Daily Express, and so I would never contribute to the conversation. We used to get 6 Sunday newspapers, say 6. I used to go to Pollok all the time, and there's that many cups, like the Kirkwood Shield and the Pompey Cup and all these other things. There was 8 games on during the week, sometimes 2 at least, and a lot of them at Euransfield of course, and I used to go and sit behind the goals, and I think I told you if I'd go home my granny said to me, away in there and wash your face, because they're all covered in dust and stour, because the ground is that dry, and the black ash. But I used to always get half a dozen rolls and Pollok shots on the way home for the game. We jumped the car at the Jubilee building. Them were the days, Mark. So they were. See, obviously there's no the enthusiasm with football that there was, but most of my good memories when we were young. I mean, I never took Moira out on a Saturday night for 3 months when we were winching, because I was going to see Rangers. And the time I got home even for Ibrox was too late to really go to the pictures, because we won the ones for the dancing and everything like that. But I remember I finally she'll take you in Saturday. We worked together, we worked in the same office. She was the secretary to the sales manager, clever lassie, Moira, clever. Anyway, I says to her, definitely good. She was surprised. Oh, what am I telling my pals? We're finally TV on a Saturday. And I was sitting in the office. At 4:30, my pal phoned me. Rab, I've managed to get 2 tickets for the cup game at the Tannadice. So I said, you going? I went, aye, I'm going. But wait a minute, aye, I'm going. So I shouts Moira there. Moira, I've got something to tell you, pal. A lot of two-facedness, Can't make it more, I'm going to the football. She never said anything, she just went, and she stalked away. I made it up to her later on, but I always remember that. All the years we were first married, when I was going to the juvenile tournaments during the week, jumped the train from Springburn there to Denison, only about 7 or 8 minutes. I had to leave the games 10 minutes early, but to get the train back to Springburn. I used to walk home from work, 15 bloody years with Albert Moffat, who at one time was president at Petershill. Now there was a fanatic. There's a boy, his dad used to take him up there, helped to sweep the terracings, you know, after the games and things like that. Albert was a complete fanatic with football, especially at Petershill. Another thing that struck me about Pollok, I've said to you, if you look back through their history, they hardly won a thing before, what, the 60s, 70s? A really substantial trophy of any kind. Most of the time they're in the B division. And unlike a lot of other clubs, I didn't have a lot of players go professional, senior.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Neil Bowie, the big goalie McClelland, I always call him Chick McClelland, but I know it's no Chick. He was a football player, I think, played for Motherwell, Chick McClelland. Anyway, the goalie and Neil Bowie, I can't remember too many more that went senior. You got other teams like Clydebank, they were quite a few who went senior. Well, David Cooper, he was senior when Clydebank was a senior team, but when Clydebank was a junior team, Joe Roy, I remember him, Billy Vandermotten, he went senior and all, but Pollok didn't seem to have that much. I often wondered why. Weekly News used to publish before the season started a list of every player with every senior team. And I would say 95% of these players all started as juniors. I mean, Billy McPhail, he was one time Vicks, I think. Tommy Gemmell of Celtic, he was somebody like Colton S or something like that. Tommy, what was he called? Bobby Lennox. I think was a Salkett Vicks.
Nice.
By the way, Bobby Lennox is the nicest football player I've ever seen interviewed. Modest, soft-spoken, seemed a smashing guy, Bobby Lennox. Of all the players I've seen interviewed, he's been the nicest.
Oh, yeah,
But say most players, George Young of Rangers, Rob Milley, Wally Waddle, who later became manager, he was fourth Wanderers. So you got all these players all started off with junior teams. That was the way they done it. My grandfather used to talk about that. There was a term for it, Mark, you might know it. It was the intermediate days. You can imagine nowadays, if you think 19 out of every 20 players come through juniors. If you imagine a 4-year spell where that didn't happen, my grandfather says it used to be terrific games. Because all these young boys stayed with their junior team. They didn't go to senior. He says they were terrific standard of football these days. I tell you, I played in a Scotland shirt, didn't I? Bobby Evans, granny stayed in Pollok. He donated 11 of his Scotland jerseys to the Methodists, and I played for the Methodist football team when I was about 12 or 13 or maybe it was a wee bit older, I can't remember exactly. That was called. But Carnwarrick used to have a smashing juvenile team called Carnwarrick Bluebell, named after the Bluebell Woods in the White Priest Hill. There's on the right hand side when you go under the bridge, there's traffic lights there now. Christ, I think I used to come belting down there on my bike and at night, no lights on the road. Now they've got traffic lights there, but there's a wee wood on the right hand side. It was called the Bluebell Wood. Except some boys call it the Ganges after the Amazon forest.
Okay, yeah.
Because we used to go and play soldiers there and they call it the Ganges. Anyway, again, that's got nothing to do with what we're talking about. But fully back, got a million memories, God. And they used to have near where the pubs are, where the toilet used to stop, because you didn't know where the toilet was, but you know, between the two pubs, there was a spare gun, there was a wee show, a record show. And they used to have a Saturday every week in it, the top 20. And God, my brother and I used to stare there and gaze at it and memorise the top 20 records. That's all you ever seen. You know, there was no, for young people, I always said that there wasn't such a thing as a teenager when I was young, when I was 10 or 11.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that was there was no provision. You dressed the same as your father. You were about the same as your dad wore when you were in your good clothes, no your school clothes. You'd be dressed the same as your dad. There was nothing between being 13 and 20 that you didn't count. So music wasn't for you, films wasn't for you, nothing like that was for you. And then the powers that be discovered that teenagers had money, so you used to get clothes that teenagers would wear. Your dad wouldn't think would be more than a million years, but you would wear them because you're a teenager and things like that. And that went for music and it went for fashion. You know, everything's geared towards bloody teenagers now, isn't it? You look at it. Teenagers didn't really count. I remember the first time I got a Fitbit strip. I got it was the same colour as my school, blue with white sleeves. And I wore it down to Camlodic Park. We used to go there every day after school and play Fitbit. And my pals were amazed. You've got a real Fitbit strip. Not only that, a real pants and stockings as well. But having a real strip was magic. Like having music. My uncle was in the Navy and he didn't get married till his early 30s. So he spoilt me and my brother, spoilt us rotten. And I got to call it by the name, I was brought up a gramophone. In fact, even the early ones, we used to wind them up. And we used to take it out near the window, open the window and play records. And my pals would come and hear them. Things like that, I mean, you hear folk walking about with these things in their ears. Mm-hmm. They're listening to music. I want to take a photograph, get your this bloody thing. This is just a simple one because I'm simple-minded. I can't do nothing except talk to people, which is all I want. You could use other ones to get their phones out and take a photograph. Again, my uncle, being in the Navy, he'd come back to all these exotic places and he'd be all these things that you couldn't really see here. So we always had cameras. In fact, at times people would come to our holiday at our house and say, we're going down to Saltcoats for a week, going to lend us your camera for a week. I remember the first wave of people that started to go to Spain, guys I worked with, they'd come back and they'd go, look at that, and they'd go like their watch, and there'd be all tan there, mm-hmm. and a white bit where their watch was, and then they'd go for a drink and they'd say, first time I went into one of the bars, I'd say, I'll have a whiskey, and the guy would come and he takes a half pint tumbler, and he just pour it like that, he'd go, and you know this, a half, mm-hmm. or a fifth of Jills, it used to be a quarter Jill, it'd be, they were amazed at the drink you got, just, whiskey pour in like that. So that's how much things have changed, mm-hmm. Mark. They've changed to all recognition. I mean, in Fitbit terms, goalkeeping coaches, never heard of a goalkeeping coach. Scotland got to play England, right, they go down on the Friday for a start, take 12 players with them, so that was their 11, mm-hmm. and one in case somebody get injured. So just say the goalkeeper injured, I don't know what they would do, and if the centre forward get injured, and if the travelling reserve, we'd call this guy, say he was a left back, we'd say, well, I'm afraid you'll be playing centre forward because centre forwards get injured, things like that. Attitude to football, obviously no subs. The games that was ruined when a player got injured, Stanley Matthews final when they were getting beat 3-1 with Bolton Wanderers and Blackpool won 4-3. Bolton Wanderers had 2 players injured during that game and one of them was a cripple. The traditional place was you stuck the guy who got crippled out in the left wing because he was at the road then, and at least somebody had to mark him just in case he get lucky and he was in the penalty area and the ball dropped to his feet. But that ruined that final, but Blackpool won 4-3. The first World Cup final I saw, wait for it, 1954. Germany 3, Hungary 2. Puskás played though he wasn't fit. It was always after 10 minutes, they stuck him out in the left wing. So effectively they played a World Cup final with 10 men, Hungary. They get beat 3-2 after winning 2-0. Hungary's the best team I've ever seen. It hasn't won the World Cup. They're a great team and introduced things that we didn't have a clue in this country about, like the deep line centre forward, a guy called Hidaguti, and the 2 spearheads with Kochis and Puskás. If I had to pick an all-time World 11, Puskás would be one of the strikers. He later got more fame when he when he was in his 30s. I think he was 32 when he played for Real Madrid at Hampden. 7-2 or 7-3. He scored 4 that night. What a player. Couldn't tackle. Was fat. Was slow. Scored 4 goals. His left foot. Oh, Christ. We talk about a wand magician. I remember the story when England had never been beat at home. Well, it's a pub question. They'd been beaten the Republic of Ireland at home, but that didn't count. They'd never been beaten at home, Mark. And Hungary, who were the team, came to England, and remember they were talking about England was showing them. They won 6-3, Hungary, at Wembley. And when they come running out, Puskas come running out, he was the captain, a wee podgy guy, and Billy Wright, the England captain, who's a great player, said to Bill Eckersley, who was the centre half, well, look at this, who I'll be marking today, he said, and Eckersley said to me, you'll not have any trouble there, Billy, look at the wee fat guy. And 6-3, the Daily Express had a guy called Desmond Hackett, who was a chief writer. He hated Scotland. He was always on about England. You know, I was a fanatic about football in these days, and I read everything I ever could. And I used to get the Record and Express. I used to read him, and it was all about England. Then I always remember the headline: "Today is the day every Englishman has been waiting for, a chance to get revenge against Hungary, having beat us 6-3 in England." Played in Hungary, score 7-1 to Hungary. Now England, say what you like, they're a team you don't score a lot of goals against. 7-1. And another wee aside, the thing that got me about the goalposts in Hungary, they were like a barber's pole, they were red stripes like that, all around the bar and around the posts. But remember that England said, this is the day every Englishman's been waiting for, revenge against the Hungarians. 7-1. And you see, he was a wee fat guy, Puskas, but wow, player. Oh, Jesus Christ. When they come to play Rangers at Ibrox, and Rangers had a really good team, and it was nothing reached until last minute, and Puskas scored a goal. Only get one chance, and the ball was about that height, and he belted it in the net. And people were saying, well, Rangers will have a thing, mate, a chance in Hungary against Real Madrid, no, Hungary, in Spain against Real Madrid. 6-0. They get completely destroyed. And again, as an aside, the oldest player in Rangers forward line was 21 years old. They had a lot of good young players. Jim Forrest, smashing player, what a goal scorer. Rangers made a big mistake letting him go, but he get blamed for the defeat at against Berwick when he got beat 1-0 in the Rangers. And him and Big George McLean, they were 2 strikers, and they get blamed by the manager. And the manager got rid of him, and he went down to pressing, and he perfect goal scorer. I mean, he scored 51 goals or something in the season. Yeah. He was one of the boys that would score goals for anybody. He was just a goal scorer. A bit like Gert Muller, who never scored a decent goal in his life. Knee the ball in, line in the ground, flick it in, scramble it in. And John and I talked about him a lot. I said, John, but he always got it on target. Didn't have to hit it hard. He's just a niggly wee, you could say he's lucky. I wish we had a player that says that Pollok, it was as lucky as him. He never scored a good goal, but by God, that guy could score goals. I mean, I used to go to sleep, think about football, and waking up, think about football, and sitting in his class, what's going to happen here, and you know, and I never went to an away junior ground till, oh God, when would it be, Pollok? I think I was married, believe it or not. Aye. When I was married at 22. I'd go to all the Pollok home games, but see, after I get married, the kids come along that. But I did see Pollok win a cup, the first time they'd won a cup for ages. It was a Glasgow Cup. Now, we may scoff at it, but there was 7 clubs I've told you went defunct. You still had Shettleston, you had Bailison, you had teams like that in it, Petershill, the Shire. Still a lot of good teams, and we got in the final against St Roch's. Now St Roch's, the final was played at Parkhead, and Jimmy McGrory of Celtic, who scored 550 goals in senior football. Two penalty kicks and missed both. But it's a specialist subject. But he was an ex-St Rock's man, so all the neutrals that went to see the final, plus the Rock fans, were always supporting St Rock's. And we won 3-2. And my memory might be failing me here. I think all the goals were scored in the first 20 minutes. And I remember we came away, my grandpa took us, of course. We came away, we got a tram car into the town, and we got the other tram car through the town to Pecan Wadrick. And we went by the railway station. It's ridiculous, all my history of I can never mind which is Pollok West and which is Pollok East. I think it's the West. It's on Pollok Road. Before you come to the round house.
Where Pollok Park is, Pollok West.
Yep. We were going by there in the car, sitting at the front of the car. Upstairs there was wee boxes at each end of the cars. We still up to sit in a wee compartment. And we were going by it, and we stopped at the car stopped across the station. And who's coming out it but the Pollok team with the cup? And I thought, that's magic that. I've seen them all come out. There's a lot of fans all standing outside the police, oh God, railway station. And here they come out carrying a cup of Pollok, so we get a look at the cup. If I remember, it was a guy called Alec Russell, baldy guy, who's a smashing player. I think that was his name. I remember him as a really, really good player, a good, clever football player with Pollok. I don't think he ever went senior, but that was the first time I remember us winning anything. 3-2, goals all scored in the first 20 minutes, seen outside the station. So all these things were stuck in my mind. And I do think about them, believe it or not, now and again. And in contrast that, when we get beaten in the final with Atherley, I come back with John in Newellsfield with us, and just going by Newellsfield when we come off the bus was one of these coaches they hire for cup winners, then up the top. And I thought, how sad, and I never said anything to John, but well, how sad. We could have been sitting there with the cup and everybody all cheering and all that. So anyway, this is why I started going again to see the Pollok, when I said, boys are old enough, they're interested in football, let's go. And I couldn't bring myself, Peters Hill, so Pollok it would be, and that was great fun, John and I, over the years, over the bloody years. The games we've beaten, the laughs we've had, the disappointments. And I remember standing at the Colsai 31, bitter, it was a game in October, November, and it was freezing, Mark. And for some reason, I think it's even before we joined the supporters club, we went, there's all public transport, and we walked down the hill to wait for it, and there was a pub opposite us, and a big fancy flashing lights, and we're saying that's the only thing that's sort of modern in this place. It's it's got an old stadium and all that sort of thing. And Colside had, and I said to John, John, all these stadiums are going to disappear eventually. Maybe not in my lifetime, but certainly in yours. It's a shame there's no record of them. So the next thing I know, John buys this movie camera. And we went to Forth, I think, a fortnight later, and John filmed the game. Now, as far as I know, Mark, nobody else was filming then. Nobody else. I'm not saying there was nobody filming before him, but I don't know anybody. And look at it now, everybody's filming games. But as far as I know, John was the first. And I remember the game well, Big Lowry was in goals for us. We got a shy halfway inside their half. And I don't know why, Big Walson, who was the captain, took the shy. Sweep her up, take a shy inside there, halfway inside their half, and he didn't have a long throw. This time he happened to be near the ball, he took the shy, and of course they got the ball and broke away up and scored. Remember we always said, what the hell is he doing? Typical of Big Walson. Because he was, I must say, he wasn't really liked by the fans, Walson. But look at him, 20 goals in midfield. What's not like about that? They used to call him a big waster. Him and Big Ashcroft used to have great battles. Both of them the same balls, and both of them midfield, up and down like that. I will say this about Walson. I think he was a good player for us. He's the most two-footed player I've ever saw, and certainly in the juniors. Right or left, it was no difference to him. Usually bad with both. No, but I mean, He was really tremendous with both feet, Big Bolson. Used to take the penalties, and he was really good until he missed one, and then he started to miss quite a lot. I remember one who took it, I forget what it was, maybe it was a Port Glasgow. There was this big building behind the goal, and he must have hit it about 50 feet in the air. But he scored one in the semi-final against Dundee, downfield throughout Dundee. Aye, he did. He got one and he got, I think that's where he got a penalty then. They got a penalty on, Big Sammy did a great save. Big Samaroff, he was a smashing goalie, but people blamed him for the final against Atherley. There was a cross ball, sorry, Auchinleck, we went 2-0 up, I think. They got a goal for Jim O'Donnell's, of all people, I think. He did it in for about 8 yards. And people, I suppose to this day, though, most of my generation have died out, but the old person we used to go to, old Paul Lavery, he to his dying day blamed Big Sammy for not coming out. But to me, Mark, it was one of the balls, it was 8 yards out. If it had been 6 yards out, I would have said he should have went for it. 10 yards, I mean, the argument is too far away. But it was about 8 yards out, and he came for it. He didn't seem to know what he did. It was a shame, because he was a smashing big goalie, Big Sammy. Left footed, we could certainly clear that ball. Aye. So we've had lots of fun, John and I got it, Pollok. Terrific fun. Especially in the buses. Some of the characters in the buses. He had two phrases. Pollok, pay attention now. Pay attention. And Pollok, cut out the malarkey. Well, unfortunately, when we won the cup, he was in the hospital when we won that cup. And the team went up to the hospital with the cup, which I thought was a beautiful thing to do. I mean, a long-standing supporter like him, it was the right thing to do, but they didn't have to do it. I thought that was smashing them doing that. Cut with the malarkey. And there was a guy dressed with an American accent. He had a cowboy hat on, he had a fringed jacket. And he used to shout, you know, what do you call it, with a Pollok, you know, in this American accent. And there was a madman who just talked a lot of crap, and then there was a raving madman who, to me, wasn't a real supporter, because he would shout, oh, don't pass the ball to him, he's useless. He shouted that the whole game. But this raving madman, he was out of order. Oh, really out of order, he used to go. So it was an ordinary madman, he just shouted a lot of crap, and it was a raving madman. Oh, and we met a boy like that up at Rob Roy. We're playing him in a midweek game. I think it was a semi or something. And the guy was there with his father. The boy was about 12 or 13, and his father was giving the players nothing but abuse of players. And he ended up, the boy was shouting worse than the father. He was shouting, kick him, break his leg and all that sort of thing. And I've still got the programme. I kept the programme in the house. I've got it somewhere again. We beat them 8-2 that night. What a performance. John McCarthy, whose claim to fame, I would say, was caught offside about 15 times a game, regularly. But John McCarthy on his game was like Pelé, when he was on his game, which wasn't often, but when he was on his game. And the full-back, he ended up, obviously a full-back faces you when he comes to tackle you. He had him, he was going sideways to him to try and see what he was going to do, and he ended up back, with his back to him really, so he was, you know, he was going to run by me, what side is he going to go by me? McCarthy that night was brilliant, but we said we won 8-2. And then of course the time we went to Benburb. Benburb were a good side. We went to play them, I don't know if it was a league game or a cup game, but our centre forward was injured and our sort of reserve striker was injured, so Jamie Graham came in. He wasn't a bad player. We won 7-1 or something like that. We were 5-0 up after 20 minutes. Big old Stuart Hall, who was the best centre half by far, was at Pollok. He scored one of the goals. Anyway, one of the five was. I remember this right back of Bember keep shouting, come on boys, this is not good enough. This is not good enough. We won 7-1. Jamie Graham scored 4 goals. Later on, they transferred Jamie Graham to Bember because of the effect, and of course we go to the great Ali Marshall. We should have got put to jail for robbery. We get Ali Marshall, and Jamie Graham wasn't a bad player, Wasn't a bad player, but he wasn't even a reserve. And he got 4 goals and of course the Bema were going, a great centre that. And it was Ali Marshall was there really shouting, clapping his hands, going, come on boys, come on, we're better than this. We get Ali Marshall. I'm saying, get rid of Graham for, he's not a bad big player. Ali Marshall. I mean, joking apart, to me Ali Marshall was the best fullback I have seen in junior football, and I've seen a lot. I've seen him that went to Motherwell. I think he got 1 Scottish cap.
Brian Martin.
Ali did everything. He was fast, he was hard, he was good in the air, he had a long throw. And the thing that struck me most of all was he was as clean as anything. He was, as you know, there's a lot of, you go to the hard in junior football and a lot of, you'd see a lot of fouling. Ali wasn't like that. Ali was a terrific player, and really, how he didn't go senior, I don't know. I used to say Derek Lee, how is Ali, because he was sort of played with Ali, I think, as boys. And he says, I don't know, he says, a smashing big player. I says, I know, and he could play centre half in an emergency. But the long throws, I remember we went through in the cup to, it was somewhere in Fife, and we got our first throw in. And there were some marking the players and the Pollok players in the penalty area, but the big centre forward, I forget his name, he's a funny nickname. Big tall guy, nobody was really bothering him, he was too far away from the ball. Of course, Sally comes in and he launches his throw. Jesus Christ. Really one of the guys he didn't need me near him to put it in the net. Pig, his nickname, the Pig? No, that was Lester Pig, it's a joke. He had a funny name. He scored for us in a final against Atherley. 3-2, it was Auchinleck. We were 2-0 down with 8 minutes to go.
George Rattree.
The Rat, that's what some of the things he got him, it was him that scored that goal. But I can't remember, it's so many instances, gone to so many wee clubs, gone to Wishaw in their old ground. And the old guy I went with, old Pop, used to always go at 20 minutes early because he liked to get a drink. And I didn't drink these days, I stopped my drinking when I probably get married. Don't know last time I had a drink. I had a half a birthday this year, that's the last drink I had. But anyway, we went to the club for a drink for old Pop. Fair enough. Live and let live. And the guy behind the bar, he was serving us, and he had a big woolly jumper on. Like his mammy must have knitted, you know. I mean, it's a guy in his 50s, he was bald, you know that. And of course, the game starts and we goes out and he's running a line. You know, obviously club linesman these days. And of course the Pollok supporters started shouting, your mammy and that, and all that, well, more like your granny, and she should have took the sleeves off a bit and all that. And the guy went in a huff, started to argue with everybody. And this guy in his 50s, he was asking to get thing get laughed at over his big multicoloured granny's jersey. That was Wishaw. And I remember once we were at Royal Albert, and it might not have been the first, but certainly the first or the second female linesman, and it was a lassie about, to me she looked about 16, she probably wasn't, she was probably in her early 20s, but she was one of these lovely wee dead youthful faces, but she was only about 4'10". We scored a goal, and their big centre half shouted, do you know, see that you wee effing midget that was offside? Because the referee runs across, red card right off. There's silly instances happen at football, it says stick your mind. Look, the guy, first time we were at Port Glasgow, which must be 40 years ago, there was two Pollok supporters, guys in their 20s. And I remember we disputed a couple of shies and they gave it to Port Glasgow, and the third one, we go to it and the supporters are standing right at the touchline, the referee was standing right there and they were going at him. Thanks for giving us the referee started to laugh, to his credit, because they just were going like this, right in his face, and said, oh, this sort of shy. But they were that head up that imagine finally getting a shy. And the referee, they're going like this and the referee bursts out laughing. It was just such different. And again, that reminds me, you're talking about these two chaps you were talking about the one errand referee.
Mm-hmm.
We used to see him a lot at junior games, a hell of a lot. And I think I told you, I was talking to a guy at work, Peter Jackson, who was a Glen, Rutherglen, Glencairn fanatic. He says, I know him, I used to work with him and all that. And he said, I made some comment, he was a referee in a reserve game at Rangers, and he says, I heard that Rangers should have a penalty, and he says to me, Peter, I would never give a penalty against Rangers. I says, because I'm like a Celtic fan knowing him. That, there's a referee you used to get quite a lot, and used to always book guys, and he go like, you called him a smiler, he go, what's your name and all that, and I'm booking you. He just always sort of laughed. John and I liked it though, he was like, nah, I'm sorry, you've got to take your name, son. There's a referee, you've seen him. I'd seen him at Perthshire, and he was that good. I went down to the linesman and says, what's that referee's name? And it was something Cooper, like Stevie Cooper, or something like that. I thought it was that good. And the first time I was at St Anthony's Newground, you were standing with Archie, or Bob, and he refereed that game. John wasn't with me that day. And I remember saying, he's having a really good game again. I think he's a terrific referee. Now, there's something you don't see you don't see very often. That's twice I've seen him, and he was really, really good, because you'll never make a grade, of course. Remember Boy Walker? He used to do decisions, he'd go like that, he didn't know if it was a corner or a bad kick. And I remember I was at Peter's Hall one day, and I was standing beside a guy I worked with, John McElhinney, who's been a referee. He did one of your games down at Beef years ago. And he's now a referee supervisor, he drives a taxi now. And I was standing with John when he was still an active referee, and a Pollok player got ordered off. And I said, what was that for, John? He says, no idea. I says, the two of them were standing together, but they never done nothing like that. I said, he must have said something. John says, we didn't look like it to me. Read in the Times the next night, Pollok player got ordered off for sick heating somebody, and he admitted it. Yeah, he was half stoned, my guy as a referee, and none of us seen a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I says to him, John, what do you make of that? Some referee you must be. He says, it's all about angles. It depends what angle you're at. He says, as simple as that. I remember Davy Elliott and another Port player who I forget. We were through, I think it was Kilwinning, I'm not sure. They, as you know, Davy Elliott played in Ayrshire, played for Glenafton, was it?
Larks. Won the Cup of Larks.
Larks. And so he was well known in Ayrshire football, and he was getting dogs abuse during this game. I think we won 3-0. It was an unusual game, because I remember turning to John saying, we've had 3 attacks in this game, I've scored each time, and they've had 95% of play. After the game, the players got off the pitch. Davy Elliott and a player went down to the end where the Kilwinning fans were saying, your team's shite, and shouting abuse like that, you know. Typical of wee Davy, he was a character in the hall. I met him at one of the dues. Nice guy, calm and very polite and all that. We see in the park. He'd argue with his own teammates, he'd argue with the other team, he'd argue with the linesman, the referee, he'd argue with his own manager, he'd shout across his own manager. Smashing player, but Davy. To me, he would be my Pollok all-time 11, because it would be ideal. He could play as a genuine right winger, or he could play as a midfielder, a hard tackling, hard working. So it would be great to switch from 4-3-3 to 4-4-2, depending on the state of the game. I was a smashing player, Dave, and I always remember that third goal we scored against Tayport. Big, what do you call him, big left back.
Craig Cranmer.
If they were piling on the pressure, of course. And
yeah, the left back screaming up the right wing.
He broke away for the defence of the ball. And still, again, his credit, he could have hoofed it as hard as he could into the tip, but no, he galloped something, me, Davy got him up beside him. I said, what's going to happen here? If at time to say, if we score, the game's finished. It was only in the last couple of minutes. He passed it to Davy, and Davy left fitted it right in that corner. Beauty. I went crazy. Poor old Jimmy Shearer, he was a sort of reserve sort of guy. I was cuddling him and jumping up and down and all that. Oh, it was a great feeling, that. Yeah. So you can see I've had a lot of good memories of Paul, a lot of fun going to games and coming back. And time we come back for Rosyth, I remember, Duff's driver, he started to head north. And I says, and he ended up in Inverness here. We were travelling about 10 minutes, quarter of an hour, and realised he was going north instead of south. God knows where I ended up. I also remember a dinner we go that day. We arranged somewhere to stop for a dinner. A team halfway up to the game, and they didn't give you a plate, they give you a platter full of tortoise and mince. About that size. And Jimmy Shearer was there. He insisted in buying John and I. Before John was a vegetarian, insisted in buying us our dinner. It was great. Come back to Perth one year. It's ridiculous, but fish and chip shop in Perth. Oh God, it was great. It was great. And you're talking about Amber and Sunnybank. I think I said to you, in their clubhouse they've got the ball for the final. Oh, horrible looking old thing it is. They think they played football with it. Yeah. I've seen good players for other teams. John Parks for Peter Silver, smashing player. Unfortunately for him, he signed for the juvenile team and he signed straight went for straight there down to Arsenal, I think. Then he came back from Arsenal to Celtic. And then they gave him a free transfer and he couldn't go junior because they didn't allow that because he never played junior. So he went back to playing juvenile. In fact, the juvenile team was that good. I used to follow them exclusively. There's a juvenile team, Glencairn Juveniles. They won everything, including the Scottish Cup. 14 of their players at the end of the season went junior. 14 of them. That was their 11 plus, there was no subs in these days, plus the 3 of the reserves. But eventually they changed the law and that, and he ended up with Peter Saul. It was a smashing big player to Parks. I'd love to have seen him with the Pollok, but he wouldn't get his place with Ali, but he was nearly as good as Ali. Ali was a smashing player. I say he was dead clean. He wasn't that picture of the big, ugly, fouling fullback. In fact, we went to Anstruther a few years ago for a wee holiday, and he was there with his family. And I said to myself, what if I should go and say, I know you for playing with the Pollok. I didn't, and I should have. I've seen him a couple of times, one at the wee fair they had and doing it at the beach once. I should have went there and spoke to him. But that was a great team. But the best two full back and sweeper up and centre half, big old, and Jeff Curran. Jeff Curran was where he started off with Glencairn at 17. As I told you, I worked up near Glencairn, and there was a lot of the boys in the work was fanatical Glencairn fans, and they said, we signed Curran at 17, and he came into the team right away, and he started to boss everybody. Even the captain and all the older players, he was boss. He bossed everybody. And whatever happened, he went senior and it didn't take off. He came back and I think Glencairn made a mug of his registration. So we got him and became our captain. The rest was history. Only ever scored one goal for us to, but he would sweep her up, and I say he was a gaffer. He'd tell you what free kick, who would take it, who would do this and who would do that. And remember we were playing the Anthony's the time we beat them 12-0. I think we were 10-0 up at the time. We got a penalty. There was a couple of players who wanted to take it because I think they were wanting hat tricks or that. They'd never scored a goal. Well, he come up, get involved and just said to Big Wilson, you're the penalty kick taker, you're taking it. That's the kind of guy he was. He came back to us, of course. You'll remember him, he came back to us. He wasn't the same player, but he was 10 years older. We lost him to Arbroath, and they played him in midfield. In his first game, he scored 2 goals. Scored one terrific goal for us, the only one he ever scored at shots. I don't know what happened. There was sort of scramble in midfield, and he get the ball, and he just happened to find himself, he was alone. And the way he beat the keeper, God, talk about class. Real class. Who was good at that was Phil Carney, I remember him. I remember a couple of years ago I was up at Maryhill and he was playing for Maryhill and he wasn't very good, and this guy at Maryhill player supporter next to me was going, he's absolutely rubbish, what they got him for? I says, well, you don't know. I said, but that guy 5 years ago was a really classy player, and I've never seen anybody as good at beating the goalie as he was with 1-on-1 situations. So he could beat him dead easy and make it look dead easy at the same time. He was a classy player. And of course at the time at J-Port with him and McWilliams, they didn't get on, I don't think. And they sort of started to argue, and after J-Port scored, I remember seeing one of them passing the other one and his belt at the ball at the parks and